Mist on the mountain's brow, whispers from long ago. Hear the song of the city calling you to the sea. The ancient kings return, a timeless fire burns. The heart of air calls beyond the waterfalls.
There's a stretch of land around Mohill where the fields roll soft toward Lough Rynn, and the water lies dark under the trees. It's a peaceful place now, but the land remembers things, and one name still hangs over it like a long shadow. Lord Leitrim, not spoken with affection, not spoken with respect. Spoken the way you'd mention a storm that once tore the roof off the house. The old stories say he rode the estate on horseback, watching everything. He'd look at a man's field or a woman's cottage and decide on the spot if the rent should rise. If a tenant fixed the roof without permission, that was an excuse. If they mended a wall or painted a door, that was an excuse too. And if they let things slip, if the place looked worn or tired, well, that was another excuse. People said he kept men to watch the tenants, to whisper in his ear about who was doing well and who wasn't. Whether every detail was true or not hardly matters now. It's how he was remembered, and memory can be heavier than fact. There was one farmer living not far from Mohill, a quiet man known for keeping to himself. He'd saved for years to mend the roof of his cottage, patching it bit by bit with whatever he could afford. When the work was finally done, the neighbours said the place looked almost cheerful for the first time in years. But the story goes that when Lord Leitrim rode past and saw the fresh thatch, he stopped his horse right there on the road. He asked who had given permission for the repairs. And when the farmer said he'd done it himself, hoping to keep the rain out for the winter, the rent was raised before the week was out. The man kept the roof, but he lost 2 cows to pay for it. Whether every detail happened exactly that way or not, that's the story the people told, and that's the shadow that followed him. But the tale doesn't end in Leitrim. It travels north, the way he did, up through Sligo and into Donegal, where the land grows wild and the sea pushes hard against the rocks. It was there, near Mulroy Bay, that the last chapter of his story was written. They say the night before he set out from his lodge, one of his own servants came to him pale as milk. The man had dreamed of a road running red, and a dark figure waiting at the bend where the trees meet overhead. He begged his master not to travel that morning, but Lord Leitrim was not a man who listened to warnings. At dawn, the horses were restless in the yard. They tossed their heads and stamped the ground, refusing the bridle. The stable boys swore later that they knew something was waiting on the road, and the land itself was too still. No birdsong, no wind, just a heavy quiet, as if the world was holding its breath. An old woman living near the gate said she saw a shadow cross the yard before sunrise, a shape that didn't belong to any man she knew. She told the servants to keep him home. But her words, like the dream, were brushed aside. He rode out anyway. The road toward Milford twists through trees and low hills, and somewhere along that stretch, in the quiet of the morning, 3 men stepped out from the cover of the trees. They were waiting for him, and for reasons whispered from Leitrim to Donegal, they opened fire. It was over quickly. No struggle, no long chase. Just the crack of gunfire echoing through the stillness, and the horses bolting in fright. When the smoke cleared, the man who had cast such a long shadow over Lough Rynn and Mohill lay still on the road. The servants who rode behind him could do nothing but watch the last of the dust settle. People gave many reasons for what happened that day. Some said it was revenge. Some said it was justice. Some said it was the land itself pushing back after too many years of fear. Whatever the truth, the people of Leitrim and Donegal remembered it as the closing of a long, dark chapter. And even now, when the wind moves across Lough Rynn, there are those who say the land hasn't forgotten the weight of his shadow. And maybe there's a lesson in all of this. The land holds memories longer than any of us do, and the stories we leave behind are often louder than the lives we lived. Some shadows stretch far and some fade with time, but the truth of a place is carried in the voices of the people who remember it. If you've stayed with me through this tale, thank you. These old stories from the school's collection are treasures, bits of our past gathered by children with pencils and copybooks, carrying the voices of their grandparents into the future. We'll be back soon with another one, another whisper from the old days, another story the land refused to forget. Until then, mind yourselves, and mind the roads. Thanks for listening, and may the road rise to meet you, unless it's the old bog road. Bye for now.
Where ancient spirits softly tread, and mossy stones hold what was said. A whispered tale upon the breeze, through haunted wells and sacred trees. The signal from the old lands calls, the bog signal speaks.